Milk, we can't guarantee. Cheese is bad, don't disagree. Butter, ew, like high key. Forced to be dairy-free.
Hello, I'm Jonathan, and this is my lovely assistant and my daughter, Cameron. Say hi, Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
Oh, mercy. Anyway, but welcome to the premiere of our channel, which is Forced to be Dairy-Free.
Last year, I got diagnosed with EOE.
EOE, if you didn't know, is from the back.
An allergic inflammatory condition of the esophagus.
Yeah, so anyway, it's bad. Dairy does bad things to her. She doesn't like it. For the longest time, she just put up with it and be in pain after she ate. And last year, after a few doctor visits and tests we don't need to talk about, we realized we need to be forced to be dairy-free. And when I say forced to be dairy-free, just to get out of the way exactly what this channel is, this isn't a channel of us trying to make things that are predominantly known to be dairy and then making them taste good. For instance, I'm not going to be experimenting necessarily with making macaroni and cheese, right? Or chicken Alfredo. Maybe pizza. I do make a pizza that you like that's dairy-free, but we're primarily going to be focusing on menu items that are dairy-free. And luckily, the industry has made it pretty easy on us. A lot of things that I thought would be a real struggle last year that haven't been is, for one thing, butter. And butter is a dairy, you can't use butter, but the plant-based options out there are very good, and every time I go to a grocery store, there's more and more options. So that's been very good. Any of the cream cans, like cream of mushroom, cream of celery, cream of chicken, those are all out of my menu, and honestly, I haven't missed them in the last year and a half. Have you missed them, Cameron?
Nope.
No, we haven't missed them. Another thing about this channel is I'm going to help you with the organization of your meals and save you a lot of time, hopefully. Just give you a little rundown of how my week usually goes. On Sunday morning, I get up and I drink my coffee and I enjoy all of the different cooking shows in the morning. And these shows tend to get me inspired and think of what dishes we want. And sometimes Cameron will come in a couple of hours later than I get up and let me know any ideas she has. And then I love to get different magazines. I'll look through them and see how I can improvise and change those menus. Anytime I have to go to the doctor's office, I'll always have my camera with me, take a picture of a menu. So I get these different ideas that I can help build up a repertoire of different recipes that we'll use throughout our cooking and throughout our weeks. Another thing that I do is we have 3 kids. I have a wife and a dog, which I'm sure will pop into our videos every now and then. And a big part for me for cooking and doing a good job with our meals is having a plan. We're busy. Cameron's in softball, which is year-round. Basketball. What else you want to do? Track. We're going to do some track. Anything else? That's our dog Macy in the background. Cameron, can you allow Macy real quick?
Yep.
She's going crazy. We'll let her out, and I'll still talk. So anyway, a lot of things going on. We have a son, Chase, youngest son. He's playing football and basketball and baseball, and then a son, Jake, playing karate. So just like you have out there, lots of things keeping you busy. So it's important to be organized, and I start that organization on Sunday, and I'm going to help you with it. Every week, we're going to post. You want to grab that sheet for me real quick and show it? We're going to have this posted so where you can see it. And this is week 1, day 1 of 4. And I plan it out based on what my schedule is going to be. I go to the calendar, I go to our little apps that show our team practices and schedules and times and try to figure it out. And I can base the meals I'm going to have, how long they take, and how many of the family would be here for those meals. So for this first week, on Monday we have a beef loin and barley. Tuesday, ahi poke bowls. Wednesday, a coconut curry beef. And Friday, a clam chowder. Thursday, I'm not doing a dish because Thursday I have a Pheasants Forever banquet. So I won't be able to be here, and Cameron and her mom will just have to wing a dinner on Thursday. They'll figure something out. So I hope with all the organization, you'll have a list of all the ingredients in this. Also check through, I check on Sunday again to make sure I don't have any items that are already in a cupboard that I go and buy at the grocery store. I try not to do that. Trust me, I have plenty of repeat items. I have just, this whole area is full of stuff. But I do my best. I really try to minimize the trips I have to do to the grocery store if I can. If I can do my grocery store shopping and get it done on Sunday, to me that's saving time and money. So that's a big part of our show also, is just being organized, helping you hopefully have a meal planned out for the week already that you can go ahead and cook for your family. Cameron, you have anything you want to add before we move on to what we're actually doing?
The grocery list will be linked in the description box, so you can click on that and go grocery shopping.
All right.
Anything else?
Well, a few things I got to thinking about. So you'll notice in our menus that I cook a lot with venison, and my son and I both go deer hunting quite a bit. And with the venison that I have, you know, we're going to use it. And personally, for a lot of the dishes I use, I really like it. But of course, I know not everyone's going to be using it out there. Either you don't have access to it, or you just prefer beef or another meat. You can definitely substitute beef for almost all ingredients. I'll say 90% of the time, though, I'm going to be using venison. And I'll point that out in the menus also. We also have some other wild game that we can incorporate, and I'll let you know if you can substitute it with another meat. All right? So we're going to get on. This is one of our favorite dishes. This week, the theme is a different meal that each one of the family members is their favorite. So this one is definitely one of my favorites.
Mine too.
One of Cameron's favorites also. And this is our beef and barley with a cranberry sauce. We have all the ingredients out here. Over here to the left, you probably can't really see it, but I have some beef broth, and I have some dry red wine, Merlot that I have. I have about 1.25 cups of barley, and I already diced up some garlic and put in the barley, and I rinsed the barley before I put those two together. I have some pistachios, some lemon zest, some thyme. I have some jellied cranberry. I used probably 1 cup of that. And then I threw away the rest of the can. I don't really know what else I would do with jellied cranberry, but it's good for this dish. Some kosher salt, some shallots, and I also have some plant-based oil, which is my substitute for the butter. Alrighty, ready to go. So I want to make sure I have the venison. Cameron, can you get a tablespoon, of this grapeseed oil?
Yep.
Grapeseed oil. There's a grapeseed oil there. And then put the heat to, you might want to do it over the pan so you don't pour it on that.
Alright.
There you go.
And where do you want this?
Yeah, pour it in.
Okay.
And then turn the heat to medium high.
Alright.
We'll put this over here. Again, tidy kitchen's a happy kitchen. Alrighty. And I'm going to put some kosher salt. And I'm going to, I'd already patted this down, made it pretty dry. And I'm only going to put the salt right before I'm going to put it on fire because I don't want the salt to pull out all the moisture, and then I won't get that nice crispiness that I want to get on this steak. And notice that this is a whole loin. This isn't actually a tenderloin of a deer, but when I process the deer, which my dad and I do ourselves, I am able to make all the steaks to my liking. And the way I usually prefer it is to keep it in a whole loin like this rather than stick it up. So if you can buy a whole loin, it doesn't need to be a tenderloin. If you can buy a steak, thing is we're going to be putting this in the oven, so you don't want it to be in steak pieces or it's going to dry out.
Yeah.
And also, before I did this, I have preheated the oven. The oven's preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's already going.
And we washed our hands before this too. Make sure you do that too.
All right, so the pan is ready to go. It's hot, almost too hot. So we're going to get this baby on here. Now this is, like I said, the venison. Oh yeah, sizzle. And I definitely don't want to cook this as long as you'll do a beef. I'm going to cook it about a minute per side. The beef might do a minute and a half. I'm going to keep moving it around. So I'll cut that out, and at the same time, so this is what I love about this dish, is that we can kind of have several things going in concert. We can get the barley going. So this is going to have to cook about 45 minutes. All right. Another thing with that venison is pretty thin, so it cooks faster than beef. And with it being thinner, we're going to have to be careful because we don't want to overcook it for sure. Yeah. All right. So on the barley, Cameron, if you can get another tablespoon of the grapeseed oil in there.
All right.
And I'll go ahead and turn the heat to high.
Okay.
We'll give that a turn. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to char all 4 sides. My biggest thing, especially with the venison, there's really no such thing as undercooking on this. So our oil is going really good over there. I have a couple of cloves of garlic mixed in with this barley. It's a pearl barley. Don't use instant barley. And I already have rinsed that a little bit. So I'm going to let that sit for a couple minutes. That, and then Cameron, can you bring the beef broth over?
Yep. And go good?
Yep, bring it right there. Turn that one last time. Woo, look at that. Hopefully you can see that. It's pretty. Keep letting that stir, you know, have that on hot. So we want to make sure on this. So I'm going to put about 3 cups of beef broth in this cup and a quarter of barley with the garlic. And it's one of those things where at the end of 40 minutes, if possible, it could be too much broth, so I can just drain it out. You definitely don't want it undercooked; it will just be too crunchy. In this dish, it'll be a surprise, but the barley is not really the star of the show.
Yeah, the cranberry.
Don't tell them what the star of the show is.
Oh.
All right, so I'm going to take that right off, cook it long enough. I think I cooked it about 4 minutes. This is a longer episode than most of our episodes will be, because we had to give a rundown of what the show is all about, right? So we're going to do about 3 cups.
And we're putting the venison into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right. There's about 3 cups. Put that back.
Alrighty.
We'll let that boil. Meanwhile, while it's boiling, we have one more thing we can do in preparation for the big finale, which really, see, this doesn't really take too long. We have our pistachios, and I went ahead and I bought these already shelled. Most times I bought these, I went through a trouble with shelling them myself, and I realized I really was wasting a lot of time doing it if I didn't have to. Our grocery store at least has pistachios where you can get them by the pound. So I bought about a cup worth, and I'm going to put about 3/4 of a cup of pistachios that are already out of their shell. And we're going to put them in my handy dandy chopper. And most of the time I'm going to have this all done, but I really want everyone to see this chopper because I'm so proud of it. Cameron, you can go ahead and chop it. I got that chopper going into college, which was about 25 years ago. So I'm just really impressed that little thing is still going. That's pretty ridiculous. So I've cut that thing, I've moved probably 5 times, maybe more than that. And it is one of the few things that has made it everywhere where I've went. So go ahead and chop those babies up. Alright, good and chopped. I got that boiling. I'm going to turn that down to a simmer. We have those pistachios ready, simmering that. And now we can wait about, with my venison, about 25 minutes. All right, it has been 25 minutes.
Yep.
So our steak is definitely ready.
Ooh.
And from here on, it's going to be pretty fast paced.
Yep.
So I'm going to shut off the oven. I won't need that anymore. I'm going to let my steak rest. And this pan is very hot, obviously.
Sorry about the
I don't know if I
background.
pointed out they needed a cast iron skillet.
No, I don't think you
You
did.
can probably get by with that one, but if you have a cast iron skillet, I know they always say don't use on a glass top. This one's kind of a smooth one. Oh man, that thing, I can barely live without the cast iron skillet. New cutting board that you may notice. Now I'm immediately going to get some of that plant-based butter, as they say, onto that same pan that has all those nice drippings from my steak. Still have another tablespoon there, so 1 tablespoon in the pan. And go ahead and put all those shallots in there. I put a couple shallots. I was one of those people, anytime I used to have a recipe and I saw shallots, I would get onions And I'd be like, it's close enough, it looks alike. I tell you what, I buy shallots now. And we're getting not too far from gardening season. I've never planted shallots, but that's definitely going to my garden this year. Here in a month, we can start incorporating some garden into our show. So I'm good.
Sorry about the background noise. I just can't add that. That's our dog. She
Macy, chill out, dog. Macy's a golden retriever. I got her because I thought she'd be a good hunting dog. It turned out she's just a good companion while I'm hunting.
And she's pretty.
Which means something, I guess. And she is pretty. She's the prettiest dog out there.
Yep.
Alright, so I got those shallots. They browned really quick.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead. And this barley's looking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put about half those shallots. Whoops. Half those shallots into the barley.
Okay.
Mix that around a little bit.
And make sure your pot handle is turning. Oops.
Yeah, very good, Cameron. Just look at yourself. Oh my goodness.
Let me fix that.
That was one of many mistakes you'll probably make.
Yeah. Anyway, turn that in, not out, because if you're walking, you can run into it and fall, and you burn yourself just like I did.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So we have those shallots.
Good example.
Go ahead. I have one more cup of the beef broth. This is a low sodium beef broth I use. I'm going to get that. Actually, I'm going to turn that up. Get that to boiling really good. Again, this part's fast paced. I'm okay. Notice that those really shrunk up a little bit. I would have much rather had, usually I could find a 2-pound piece of loin. I'd rather have 1 2-pound altogether. But I worked hard not to overcook that, so it will still be good.
Yep.
And one of those things, even if I did overcook it, it's still gonna be good.
Yeah.
Right? Alright. So we're gonna boil that down. And after I boil that down, I'm gonna add the half a cup of red wine. Actually, now that it's boiling, it's going pretty good. I'm going to put that in.
Okay.
Alright. I'm going to let that cook down. I'll put in, this is that jellied cranberry.
Okay. I'm going to go put these two things in the sink.
So one thing really good, another reason I like this dish, I had that 25-minute of downtime. During that, I was able to clean up everything, get everything put away, get everything put in the dishwasher, clean the other things that didn't need to go in the dishwasher.
Yep.
Very organized, everything's staying pretty clean. Alright, so this is cooked down a little bit. Now before it cooks completely down, I want to go ahead and put my thyme in here. I have about 3 sprigs. I used to go through a bunch of thyme. Get it? Going through and taking off each of the leaves. Now I'm gonna keep on the sprig, and then at the end, I'll just pull it out, and whatever pieces of thyme leaf end up in there, I'll be perfectly happy with.
Okay.
And I'm also gonna add some cumin
Alright.
to my barley. That could have, you can kind of put that in whenever you want. I could have put it in a little earlier, but I put it in now. And I'm not going to use any measuring stick. Whatever I did there was good enough.
Just a few sprinkles.
Yep, a few sprinkles. All right, the sauce has reduced. So now that I'm at the end, I'm going to add a splash of salt and vinegar, about a tablespoon or so.
Ready?
And that finish as I'm cooking. My barley is smelling great. As you can see, I already sliced the venison. It rested for at least 10 minutes, probably 12 minutes, and it's still warm, and it's perfect. Make sure I cut that against the grain, of course. So now the star of the show. We have the barley, and the star of the show, the pistachios, which, oh my goodness, I'm going to put the whole thing of pistachios in there. I recommend, I want to substitute any sort of nut for this barley. The pistachios and the barley just pair very nice. Don't you agree,
Yes.
young assistant? Okay. And then I also have this lemon zest. And for me, I like things lemony. You can adjust that for yourself. I did a whole lemon that I zested. I'm going to put that in with the barley. And go ahead and shut off the burner for the sauce. And I'm going to finish the sauce with that last tablespoon of my plant oil-based butter, if you want to call it that. It's good. I tell you what, I don't know who's out there making these things, but they're doing a good job.
Yeah, there are many dairy free butters out there. My favorite's the olive oil one.
Yep, that is a good one. I like that one. I can't tell the difference. Alright, so that's all reduced. Now we're going to start plating. So I think that will be your plate camera. That's a nice, you can get a nice close up and then say the end.
This is the dish.
Alright.
Thank you
Then
so
we'll
much
see you tomorrow for our ahi poke bowls.
Yeah.